Pair of 1-1 teams play each other this weekend when the Pittsburgh Steelers take on the New England Patriots. Welcome into the Arthur Moats Experience. My name is Mark Bergin. Here's where I want to start today's show. People are freaking out that it's been 6 games since TJ Watt had a sack, but the more concerning stat, in my opinion, is the fact that the Steelers had 7 players play more snaps than TJ Watt in the Week 2 game against the Seattle Seahawks. Are you ready for this? Juan Thornhill, Chuck Clark, Darius Slay, fine, defensive backs. Peyton Wilson, Patrick Queen, Jalen Ramsey, Nick Herbig. This is where I have an issue. Nick Herbig was coming off a hamstring injury, playing for an injured Alex Highsmith. Why he's getting more snaps than the player that you are paying $41 million, who by all reports is healthy, it makes no sense to me. I understand that you want to save TJ Watt for later in the season. I understand he's faded down the stretch of seasons. But the fact that you played a player in Nick Herbig who had a hamstring injury, more defensive snaps against the Seahawks, does not make any sense. We can have this argument of should the Steelers move TJ Watt around to match up against weaker offensive linemen in one-on-one scenarios. We could have that debate. We could have the debate of what his responsibility should be on each play, but not playing as many snaps, 50 of the team's 65 defensive snaps. That is a bigger concern than to say TJ Watt doesn't have a sack in the past 6 games because he is being like triple teamed when he's out on the field. Pop on the tape, that doesn't lie. The defense overall has got to get better. This team's lost time of possession in back-to-back weeks. The team has allowed 30-plus points in consecutive weeks, something that happened twice all of last season. It's got to get better. It's got to get better fast. Few injuries to go through. Alex Highsmith's going to be out with an ankle sprain, so look for Nick Herbig and Jack Sawyer to step up in his absence. Isaiah Loudermilk is out. Deshaun Elliott with the MCL sprain, questionable. Derek Harmon returned to practice, also listed as questionable. I don't expect to see Harmon, but we'll see. And then Joey Porter Jr. continues to deal with a hamstring injury at the cornerback position, someone that in Diggs, the Patriots receiver, that the Steelers are going to need to stop. Now, the Steelers are getting 2 former Patriots players in Jabril Peppers, and then the Steelers just signed Patriots linebacker Jawan Bentley. Bentley spent 7 seasons in New England. Maybe those 2 players can give the Steelers some intel. But you don't really know because it's Mike Vrabel in his first season as head coach of the New England Patriots. Before this game, Mike Tomlin, when he spoke with reporters on Tuesday, made the announcement, at least for the short term, that Caleb Johnson will not be the Steelers' kick returner, given a fumble in week 1 and given the major mental mistake against the Seahawks, which led to a touchdown on the kickoff for not fielding the ball, not understanding the rules. So who fills in? I think Kenneth Gainwell could be back there. Maybe put Jaylen Warren back there, even though he is your starting running back. Maybe Jabril Peppers. Maybe one of the receivers. I thought about the possibility of Calvin Austin III, but all of his return experience comes as a punt returner. Maybe Scotty Miller goes back there as well. So keep an eye on that come Sunday because special teams has played a huge component in the first 2 weeks of the Pittsburgh Steelers regular season. So that's what I'm thinking about. And defensively, Drake May's running the show in year 2 for the Patriots. You've got a nice 2-headed monster if you're the Patriots in Ramondre Stevenson and Trayvon Henderson out of Ohio State, the rookie. Very explosive in the return game as well. Had a return touchdown in the preseason. So that's something else that you got to keep an eye on. And then Stephon Diggs is a receiver. There's a reason why at some points he was one of the best receivers in football. I think those days might be behind him, but still a very, very solid veteran player, still a difference maker on the outside. So keep an eye on that matchup, whether it's Jalen Ramsey, if Slay is able to go, who the Pittsburgh Steelers match up, how they match up against the Patriots' best wide receivers. So that's what I'm looking at. Patriots are going to be wearing their red Pat Patriot uniforms in this one as well. So we've got a 1 o'clock kickoff. Things that I've got to see for the Steelers to improve upon before I get to my score prediction. Steelers have allowed back-to-back 100-yard rushers. That can't happen again. Go win time of possession. I mentioned it before, but you win time of possession, you win the takeaway battle. A lot of times that helps get the job done in the NFL. Would like to see that. Steelers and the 30 points that they've allowed in the last 2 games. Again, keep the Patriots below 30 points. I don't think that's hard. Also, the Steelers don't have 100 yards rushing in a game offensively as well. So help take some of that onus, some of that burden off of Aaron Rodgers. Maybe you put Darnell Washington on the line and you run off tackle with Darnell Washington as an extension of your offensive line of sorts. Mentioned TJ Watt in his sacks. I would love to see him get a sack and, put that streak to bed. And then how about this? The Steelers have allowed the most 15-yard plays this season, 22. And the team that's second is the Patriots, 18. Of the group that's in, let's see, doing live math here, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the top 6, none are 2-0. So Steelers have allowed the most. You got the Patriots, then the Giants, the Dolphins, the Titans, and the Ravens. None of those teams are 2-0. So got to get short up and got to get short up fast if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers in the NFL's highest paid defense. Enjoy the game. It's going to be 1 o'clock Sunday. Again, Steelers, Patriots. I'll be back here on this channel with Arthur Moats on Monday, sharing our reactions to this game. I lied before I go. I've got the Steelers winning 27-24. The Steelers are 2-point favorites in this one. So enjoy the game Sunday. I will see you Monday with Arthur Moats. And until then, take care and so long, everybody.